Hey, B. Welcome back, honey. Welcome back to the channel. I am Jamie. That's me. All right. And I just came to have a little chit chat with y'all for a hot second. Okay. There are a few things that I want us to get into in this particular video. We got to talk a little bit about Joseline Hernandez and what she had to say about Mona Scott Young. And we're going to tap on her shoulder just a little bit. Okay. We got to talk about Chipotle. We're going to have to tap on Chipotle's shoulder too, because they over here tripping. And then we got to get into this squatter. Okay, down there to the Maryland, I do believe that it is because Grace shouldn't be this funny. I'm so sorry. It shouldn't even be this funny, but I'm laughing at the fact that this girl has been able to squat in a home that is $2.3 million. Okay. And I don't think she's fully out yet. All right. So we'll tap into that story. And it's really not funny because I feel like y'all do need to do something with these squatters, child. If it was my house, I'll be mad as fuck. But for social media purposes, I have to say that it is definitely a kiki. Okay. Feel away and have a great day. All right. Now, the first thing I want us to go ahead and hop into, let's just go ahead and talk about Joseline Hernandez. All right. Shout out to Reality Entertainment TV because we're going to hop over here. Y'all know Joseline has been working on her own platform. I guess it's similar to Zeus. And with her doing this platform, I guess one of the draw ins was going to be her sitting down and I guess telling her story about how she went from being a stripper to being famous. And in this, sit down, this clip of a interview, because I'm not gonna go over there and be buying up nothing Jocelyn got. I'm not gonna hold y'all to listen to this full thing. All right. If she happens to drop it over here on the YouTube or something, I may check it out. But outside of that, we're going to get into this clip where she kind of addresses a few things about Mona Scott Young. So let us go ahead and slide over there so we can get into it. All right. Now, Miss Joseline, let's hear what she has. You know what? Before we get into what she has to say, I want us to check out what it is her caption says. She says, I don't know what I feel. She says, but I do know that a lot of harm was done to me in those loving hip hop days. I also know that they used me and abused me, and then they thought they could throw me away like I was nothing. Joke is on you. I'm thriving and I'm telling my story. Why? Because I can, and because people need to know the evil ways of this industry. To anyone I mentioned on her app, this new series, she says, you know where you could find me, right? So let us go ahead and check this out then.
Is a special woman to say the least, and not in a good way. I feel like she take advantage, especially back in 2012. She really took advantage of my story with Stevie. And it was so many times that I called Mona to be like, Mona, please tell Stevie to stop with me. Tell him to stop harassing me. He's coming over to my house at 3, 4 in the morning. He's bringing in. He's knocking on my door. He's terrorizing me. And y'all know this, but y'all still hire this man for work. And that's just the type of woman she was. And I think that's the type of woman that she's always going to be. There's no in between with her. She doesn't know how to be best or be good to anyone. And she's with she's with but I'm with too.
We
I'm
know.
not scared of Mona, and I don't get by the bitch. But I just knew it was a lot of things that were done under her watch, under her time, on her set, that should have been stopped.
Now, I do agree that Joseline's experience was her experience, right? I do feel like two things can be true when it comes to this industry. We have heard stories. People have gotten a lot of success from being on television shows, but they also have had their gripes about production and different things that they may have endured while on set. So, um, I'm very sure that something was taking place under Mona Scott's belt, but she probably felt like y'all grown, y'all figure it out or whatever. If you really want to get rid of Stevie, then press charges on him. Call the cops on him. You keep coming to me, but you need to call the cops on him. Now, granted, you know, Mona could have stopped filming with Stevie. She didn't have to continue to film with Stevie, but maybe she felt like that was the only draw in. Like we learned about Joseline through Stevie. So I'm not sure what was going on in Mona Scott's head, but for Joseline to say that she doesn't do right by people, I'm like, you sure? How does that work when she's been very close with K. Michelle and has gone on to even produce some projects with K Michelle and others. So I don't know how accurate that is. I think, in my personal, Joseline may have wanted more, and not that she shouldn't have, but I feel like she may have wanted more, wanted to be higher on the call list or something like that, and did not get her way and felt a way about it financially. In my personal, and Joseline, what we not gonna do, and again, this is a clip, so I don't know everything she's talking about in this interview, but from looking at this clip, in my head, I'm like, girl, let's not act like that you weren't over there abusing drugs, girl, and you didn't show your entire ass, you and Stevie, down to that reunion set when y'all jumped on Althea and oh boy, Benzino. Okay, let's not act like y'all weren't influenced with some other things going on. And if it cost me my cast over y'all, then BITCH, I might have to let y'all go and minimize y'all filming with other casts because you're putting people in danger. And let's not also forget how you attacked Tammy Rivera. Like, girl, as much as you want to sit up here and say that Stevie was a certain type of man, which I do believe is true, and maybe Mona could have stepped up and did something, you also participated. You just said that you were with the SHI. You was with the shits. Okay? Because you also inflicted some of that harm onto other people. Hey, Mimi. Hey, May. I see you got your May outfit on like you always do, or whatever it was. Okay? You and Mimi stayed into it, which is crazy because people were acting one way on the cameras and then behind the scenes over there eating each other out and doing what they do, child. It's a whole mess. But, and you felt like they was trying to stop your bag? I don't know. Basically, when she said, see, joke is on you, I'm still thriving and stuff, and we glad that you are continuing to thrive. I think that Joseline got in a slightly better place when she got with Ballistic, slightly better than Stevie, just slightly better. Yeah, but we're not gonna let you forget about how you jumped on, what was her name? Was it Big Legs that she jumped on after that fight? And started trying to fight the officers and all this and that. Then she ended up getting locked up. She got released or whatever. Then she tried to say, oh, I'm so many years clean from using coke or whatever the case was. And what they call her, cocaine, which is crazy. But people had to let her know, like, girl, that wasn't, like, you ain't been clean that long. Like, as far as, I think she was trying to say, oh, I've been 2 years clean. And they were like, girl, no, like, this situation just happened last year. Like, what you talking about? Talk about 2 years clean. Whatever it was, the dates were off. But all in all, I do feel like when I hear this piece, I feel like, Joseline, girl, you was full of SHI. I feel like if Mona probably would have gave you what you wanted, you still would have continued to be on your platform wreaking havoc. And as we speak on wreaking havoc, be very clear, Joseline, she left Love and Hip Hop, went over to Zeus and exploited the fuck out her dancers over there with Jocelyn's Cabaret. Okay, like, showed your entire ass over there with those ladies. I'm sure those ladies could have a story about you and likely, I don't know, ain't no tell, possibly surviving Joseline. Who knows? Based on their experience of being on set. Right? I can't remember. What was her name? Big Snow? Because I used to watch it like, the first 2 seasons, I think maybe first 2 or 3 seasons. I tuned into it. What was the lighter skin or mixed girl name? I think it was like Snow. I don't know if it was Big Snow, if she went by Snow. Y'all let me know. I feel like y'all have watched it in the comments. When I thought she was so locked in and cool with Joseline, at some point, I think she even came out saying a few things about her. So it's like, girl, you turn on every damn body that has worked with you. And you want to sit up here talking about damn Mona Scott Young and how she did you on Love and Hip Hop? Girl, please. But see, here's the thing. Once again, 2 things could be true. Joseline could have sat over here and showed her ass with these people, but it doesn't mean that she didn't experience what she said she experienced with Mona Scott. But at the same time, it's like, we ain't trying to hear nothing you talking about, because even after you left Mona Scott, you still was on that fuck shit that you say that you on. Okay? And some of the stuff that Stevie did to you, you was over here projecting it on the other folks. So that's crazy. He's over here stalking me. He's doing this and he's doing that. Okay, if he was doing all of that, which listen, I don't put none of that past Stevie J. Sorry. Isn't he the same person that was responsible or partly responsible? He definitely participated in a SCX tape with rapper Eve when they once upon a time were dating, and somehow that got leaked out or whatever. So I don't put nothing past Stevie J at all. At all. So I'm sure he was doing all of those things. Very weird. Very much so in Joseline's head. Very much so telling her, like, I'm going to send you back to the strip club. Stevie, I don't want to go back to the strip club. You can't send me back. I don't want to go back. I'm not going back. Stevie, I'm not going back to the strip club. No, Stevie, no. Okay. So I'm sure he did all of those things and she continued to show up. And maybe that was like, I don't know, maybe that was a form of abuse. Maybe that was her wanting the fame. Maybe that was her wanting some of the money or whatever the case was. But y'all let me know your thoughts about Mona Sky. Because I'm wondering, like, yeah, Mona could have stopped it, but what was going through her head? Was Mona likely thinking, like, girl, y'all do this stuff all the time. Y'all argue with each other, then y'all be laid up with each other. Then y'all arguing with each other, then y'all laid up with each other. Then y'all arguing with each other, y'all laid up with each other. And this time y'all done laid up, y'all done got pregnant. Like, what you want me to do, girl? Okay, so I don't know. Because he definitely was her connection to hip hop, So I don't know. And also, I feel like during the times that Joseline was on Love and Hip Hop, I feel like the way social media and society is today, maybe some of the things that Stevie did then, he wouldn't be able to get away with it now because the audience would be more vocal of he gotta go. I'm tired of seeing this abuse. You know how society is today versus then. So that could have also contributed to why Mona was just like shoulder shrug, like this is how it goes in the industry. This is what it is because nobody was holding them to a standard or holding them accountable for certain things as they would today versus then. You know what I'm saying? But y'all let me know your thoughts and comments about that. But I am going to move on because I want to get into more. Yeah, and I don't want this video to be too long. So, anywho, next thing I want to get into is Chipotle. All right, let's talk about Chipotle real quick because y'all is tripping. Do you hear me? So shout out to Yahoo Finance because they came to us to let us know the new plans that their CEO has for the company as it pertains to a lot of us customers, honey. Child, don't y'all sit up there messing up y'all businesses because y'all over here being greedy. You understand what I'm saying? Be real careful. But I want to hop over here and I want us to check out exactly what is shown over here. So they said back in 2015 when life was burrito-ful, okay? This is when a chicken bowl was like $6.50, extra chicken, just $2. You got your guac. Your total came out to $11.46. I feel like just to get the bowl itself is about $11, ain't it? But let's keep going. Let's keep going. They're saying Chipotle CEO says the majority of his customers are earning six-figure salaries. Are they now? Are they now? How do you know this information? My question is when people are swiping their cards at your company, are you taking their data? Because everything is about data. It's been about data for a very long periodical time. Are you taking their data and running it against a database that gives you the estimate of what their household income is for y'all to get that number? Maybe somebody is making 50,000 a household bringing in 100,000. I don't know. But like how y'all getting these numbers to say majority of his customers are earning six-figure salaries? Baby, this greed gonna tear y'all up every time. I'm telling you, especially when leaks like this come out. All right. Let's get into more. 60% of our core users are over $100,000 a year in income and average household income. And let me tell y'all what's crazy. $100,000 in today's time annually is not the same as it once was in the early 2000s. Okay. Or even like 10 damn years ago. It's not the same. Okay. So for him to be sitting up here saying this is crazy, but let us get into this audio that they played.
We learned that 60% of our core users are over $100,000 a year in income, in average household income. That gives us confidence that we can lean into that group in a more meaningful way, whether it's the solo occasion and or group occasions to really drive meaningful transaction performance in the year. We learned that 60% of our core users are over $100,000 a year in income, in average household income. That gives us confidence that we can lean into that group in a more meaningful way, whether it's the...
We can lean into that group in a more meaningful way, whether that's a solo occasion or a group occasion. It'd be so funny how they package up words to sound different than what the hell it really is, okay? But if you're smart enough, you're going to be able to read through it and see, what the hell they really trying to say. Whether that's an individual customer or whether that's group events, corporate events, whatever the case is, basically we could raise our damn prices on it since everybody over here making 100,000. Like, have you looked at the economy, sir? You're not saying that you need to, raise the prices to better be beneficial to your employees and their income based on the economy. You over here focused on these people's income of $100,000 and here your ass go. Now, see, I do like Chipotle. I'm not like a every single day type of person. I may have them times here or there a week where I'm like, okay, I want to give me some Chipotle. Oh, dang, them tacos was good. Let me get another one this week, whatever. Right? But not that overly consistent like some people may be. But it's like y'all gonna fuck some stuff up. Cause baby, the way if you get into and granted, it's all about what your mood, child, whether you feel like cooking or not. Cause I was gonna say the way these people be making food over there on the Instagram and the damn TikTok, baby, we got Chipotle at the house. Understand? From what if y'all about to raise the price up to like $15 on this, baby, let me just go over here and get this chicken and chop it up and get this lettuce and all this and that. Only thing that I really gotta cook is this rice, okay? And child, that ain't gonna take that damn long. And then let me just cook this chicken, chop it up, and then we good. Like y'all doing too damn much. All right. Child, he about to fuck the thing up, ain't he? Over here worried about what's in somebody else's pocket. So basically you pocket watching. So when the employees start pocket watching your ass, asking where they raise at, I don't want to hear nothing. Because you done took enough from these $100,000 households, right? But granted, it's also going to be up to the customers, okay? Because if you guys are not going there servicing them, then listen, giving them service charge, you ain't got to worry about them getting your money. You know what I'm saying? But child, that's crazy. And then what's also crazy, because he just said this month, what's also crazy is y'all already went up a few years ago. Y'all already went up a few years ago. I think it could have been by maybe like $2 or something like that. But y'all, go away from me with this. Try a damn best. Anywho, honey, let's see. I want to get into more. All right. Let us go ahead and tap into one more thing that I want us to get into, honey. And that is this story about this lady that's been up here squatting. Okay, this lady has been up here squatting, honey, in these people's things. So let me go ahead and give you guys this story from Fox 5. All right, they're saying squatter arrested, guilty on all counts of occupying a $2.3 million home out there in Maryland. And this was reported back in January. But we are going to get into another update that came up a few days ago this week. All right, but let's get into this story real quick. All right, they're saying for more than 9 months, a multi-million-dollar home in Bethesda stood at the center of a legal and emotional battle, one that neighbors, witnesses, and prosecutors say should never have been allowed to escalate. That case and the 19-year-old William and Mary college student who filed charges was heard Thursday afternoon in a Silver Spring District Court. All right, they're saying that squatter Tamika Good was found guilty on all tried counts of trespassing and breaking and entering. Girl, that's crazy. She was sentenced to 90 days in jail and arrested in court. All right. They're saying Good denied her guilt to the court and spotlight on Maryland. Right. They said that this woman said in the court, they may not want me in the neighborhood, but what they're doing is guessing. They're trying to dispose of me. Girl, if you don't get the fuck out them people's house, girl, and stop playing. They're saying Judge John Moffitt said Good had some demented thoughts to justify squatting. All right. They said an assistant state's attorney for Montgomery County said, if you want to live somewhere, you have to live there lawfully. He said, and frankly, this is nuts. In December, Spotlight on Maryland first reported allegations that two individuals had unlawfully taken over a $2.3 million home in one of Montgomery County's most affluent neighborhoods last summer. What followed, according to witnesses, was months of fear, frustration, and a slow grind through a legal system critics say is unprepared to confront modern squatting. I think Georgia may be trying to figure that out now, okay? Y'all letting the squatters get away with a little too much, okay? These people paying taxes on their houses, still paying the mortgage loans on the houses. Some of them are. And you letting a motherfucker squat? Y'all do not care about y'all residents that keep these damn states going. And it's absolutely insane to me. Y'all do not care. I saw a record the other day that they said over 400, I think it was close to 485,000 homes, I do believe it was close to, that are empty in Georgia. I say that's what you get when you let these corporations buy up these houses. Then trying to connect it to why a lot of families are homeless out here in Georgia. That's not necessarily the case, right? I think they had about 33,000 that were vacation homes, and then the rest of them, I'm sure a vast majority of them are just sitting owned by some corporations, running up the damn prices but not selling anything, right? And really not even renting or properly managing the properties. Then you got some people that may just own a home in Georgia because they got a house in more than one location, and when they come, maybe that is their home that they want to have. And I think they identified the vacation homes as homes that may be used as like Airbnbs and all those type of consistent rental type of things. But as far as the people that may live, let's say, in Florida, so if ever they need to evacuate and leave Florida, they could just safely come up to Georgia into their home without an issue. So that could be what it is. But okay, either way, all right, a lot of it got to do with these damn corporations. And if your house ain't being sold to a corporation, somebody over there squatting in that motherfucker. And that's just crazy to me. Okay. But, I think Georgia is trying to crack down on that. These people are cracking down on this lady. But I feel like I don't know how long. I think they said she was in the home for 9 months. And I feel like they acted much quicker than what they would have done if the house was $230,000 versus $2.3 million. Okay, they said, "Oh, we gotta get her the fuck, and she black. Oh, she got to go. We gotta get this hoe up out of here. She gotta go. She gotta go. We gotta get her out. We gotta get her out. Come on now, let's hurry up." All right, but that is what's going on at this time. All right, they're saying that a video posted just weeks after Spotlight on Maryland began investigating the alleged takeover will later become part of a broader narrative. Prosecutors say demonstrates Good's awareness and control of the property. Good was formally charged months ago with multiple counts of burglary, trespassing, and other related offenses tied to the alleged squatting of the home. On Thursday, she represented herself. What a dummy! What a dummy! She represented herself after choosing to proceed without an attorney in the Montgomery County District Court. She previously failed to appear and filed several motions which delayed proceedings. Baby, talk about a finesse hoe. Not only was she finessing y'all on this house, she was finessing y'all on the court hearings too, delaying no bitches. Girl, a mess. Well, let's go over here to I want to get over here to Twitter, where there is a guy by the name of Gary M. Collins. He says she's back at it. Tamika Good, an alleged squatter of a $2.3 million mansion in Bethesda, was released from jail after only 12 days. Her attorney spoke out. Now she got an attorney. Her attorney spoke out in an exclusive interview about how Good obtained squatter rights to the sprawling estate where she lives once again. Baby, the way I will be running down on Miss Good, kicking and scratching and throwing her ass about my 2.3 million BITCH. Look like we finna be living in this hole together. Cause what you think you doing, love? What you doing up in here, love? Love, what? That's crazy. I guess we both squatting. Like, that's crazy to me. That's so crazy that she could get away with that. Like, I will never understand. Especially, I really feel bad for the people whose homes are being squatted in. In addition to that, there have been people going down to I believe it's the clerk's office. They've been going down, filing false reports, pretty much claiming ownerships of homes that do not belong to them, like transferring deeds and like that. Okay. And they really do it to a lot of older people from what I've been seeing, taking advantage of them. And then I saw this much younger lady who recently bought a really, really nice home, and she was on TikTok kind of telling her story. And the guy is somehow connected to a celebrity. Right. And she was just talking about how he does this in a lot of different states where he tries to, take control of people's properties. Like, it's a mess. But either way, all right, y'all go look up y'all records and stuff wherever you need to look them up at, and make sure you still the owner of your house, honey. Ain't nobody trying to sit up there and finesse you, child. But let us go ahead and get into the latest story that we have here regarding Miss Tamika Good, honey.
Get out my face.
Ma'am, why are you in a $2.5 million property?
After months of delays, Good was convicted on all counts on January 22nd, sentenced to 90 days in prison. Pollard continues to face extradition for multiple vehicle theft-related crimes in Pennsylvania. 11 days later, Good was released on appeal on February 2nd after posting a $5,000 cash bond. Activities at the house started again soon after her release. For days, a woman wearing similar shoes and green pants was seen moving in and out of the alleged Bethesda squatter home. We spoke with Alex Webster about his client.
Look, there's a question. It's really the #1 question on everybody's mind. How would your client, Ms. Tamika Good, get inside a $2.3
How did she do that?
Cut. I don't know if I can answer that.
This man said,
Allegedly.
cut. First of bitch, I'm on the floor. This man said, go what? This man said, cut. First of all, before he even looked over just look over your shoulder, honey. Before he looks over his shoulder, I could just look at them lips and tell they was ready to curl the hell up with left. That's so messed up. I cannot. This is so messed up. This man legit said, cut.
There's a question. It's really the #1 question on everybody's mind. How would your client, Ms. Tamika Good, get inside a $2.3 million property?
Cut. I don't know if I can answer that. Allegedly.
Baby, he just graduated. Okay, that's what it's given because, baby, you just graduated. The lack of professionalism, baby. The lack of this young ass child, and you got this boy representing you, and I bet you she only paid him about $5,000 just to do it.
Can I cut?
Can I cut?
We're rolling.
We're rolling, my friend. Yeah.
What the
All right,
fuck?
can you re-ask the question?
Sure. Absolutely.
What if
So
going?
the #1 question on everybody's mind is how your client, Ms. Tamika Good, got into a $2.3 million property.
Well, Ms. Good did her research. She found out that a certain property was under the control of a certain group, and that there was a title issue. Due to the title issue, she was able to assume the property under squatters' rights.
So in Maryland, there isn't a particular squatter right. Am I missing something?
Well, it's not a particular squatter's right, but it's known as squatter rights.
BITCH is not a particular squatter right, but it's known as squatter rights. It's given Miss Tamika has done this before. And it's given you got you a dumbass attorney. Okay, it's given you really came out representing yourself. You got that man to fuck off you quicker by telling him to get the fuck out your face versus your attorney backing this man to fuck off both of y'all and just saying that's something I can't get into at this time. I cannot discuss that. Do you have any other questions? This nigga done gave him the whole place. She did research. She found out it was connected to this group. You know what I'm saying? And then based on that, she got the squatter rights. You feel what I'm saying? That's crazy. But we glad you told the people so they can figure out how they can shut that shit down for the next person how she try to run over there too or giving anybody else any other ideas. Okay. But hey, child, that's all that I got at this time, honey. Y'all leave y'all thoughts and comments down below about everything that we got into today. Of course, I am Jamie. That's me. Like up the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.
Tell him I preach to the choir. Stand with my feet to the fire. Give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters. I'm silent. Nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification. Them numbers hit like it's a proxy. Cash died at the ATM. And the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATL. Got them trying to clone me like Aegis. Game time, I invaded gym. High elevated, I can face the rim. Putting shots up. I got laser focus, about to take it over. I'm Invader Zim. On a trip to Florida like it's A&M. Who that nigga, man? They say I'm him. Spit the truth, never wasting film. I can fill a pool. We gon' make them swim, nigga.